Welcome back to the channel, guys, and this is another very special episode of the What If series, and I became a judge again. No, not that judge, this judge.
I am the law.
And I decided to basically punish the naughty financial boys of the Premier League. Now, in the description below and at the end of the episode, I've already done one episode like this, but with just one club, with Man City, where I relegated them for their financial misdemeanors all the way down to the VANARAMA National League. Now, it's become blatantly obvious to most football fans who have been keeping an eye on the transfer market before the 1st of July that there were some very strange goings on between Chelsea, Everton, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. They were all doing a little bit of wheeling and dealing, basically trying to get around the PSR rules and bring their own financial fair play statements into the correct areas so they don't get punished again. I do think a few dodgy things have been going on here, which they may get punished for retrospectively further down the line, but I am the judge, I am the jury, I am the executioner, so to speak. And I've decided to punish Everton, Chelsea, Newcastle, the three worst offenders, I think, out of all of them. And I've relegated all three teams down to the VANARAMA National League for being naughty little sausages. So let's go and have a quick look at it. So we'll have a look at the VANARAMA National League. So here we are, and here we have it. We got Chelsea sitting right there. Obviously, the season hasn't started. Everton sitting right there, and Newcastle sitting right there. Now, I am fully expecting all three teams to bounce back up because we are in July, and when I do the simulation, I'm going to do one season first, and I fully expect these three teams to be 1, 2, and 3. But there is a little bit of a caveat for this, where the VANARAMA National League only promotes 2 teams. So one of these teams is going to miss out on promotion, which could affect them further down the line. What I have also done with these teams, as well as relegating them, I've given them a financial penalty as well. So as you can see, they have no transfer budget. The overall balance is of 48 million, and I believe I knocked down their overall amount that started off, I think, round about 100 million. I can't remember exactly with Chelsea, but basically I've knocked out all the finances. So they have virtually no transfer budget left. The wage budgets are all knackered. The squad members there, but obviously a lot of these players are now garnering interest from the bigger players, because these Premier League players, don't want to stick around in the VANARAMA National League. So some of them may eventually move on, and we'll have a look at that in a second. Out of my own personal prediction, I personally think it's going to be Chelsea and Newcastle, because I think they have the better squad that are going to go up first, and I think Everton are going to be the one that's going to suffer, which, being a Liverpool fan, I'm not opposed to, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to keep this as fair as possible. What I also did do, obviously to fill the gap in the Premier League, let's have a look at the English Premier Division. So what I did do, I moved, where are they? I moved Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton. All three teams who were promoted in real life last season, they moved up, and I've basically done the same with the guys going from League 2 into League 1, League 1 into the Championship as well, and I've also moved the top 3 finishing teams, even though there's only 2 promoted, the top 3 finishing teams from the VANARAMA last season up into Sky Bet League 2, which I believe, if I remember rightly, let's have a look. Let's just have a look at League 2. I believe it was Barnet, Chesterfield and Bromley, I think, off the top of my head. But anyway, I digress. First season in, I'm going to simulate this, and let's see what happens. I should imagine that it's probably going to be a lot of goals scored, astronomical points total, but as I say, one of those Premier League teams is going to miss out. Who's going to qualify for the promotion? Let's go and find out. Okay, so here we are. We've done the first season at the 31st of May 2024, so that's that first season done and dusted. So if we're going to have a quick look at the VANARAMA National League, let's go and have a look. Have a look at the table. In fact, I'll go this way. Stages. Ooh! Oh. My prediction was right. Newcastle, Chelsea, and Everton missed out. To be fair, that's a little bit harsh because they finished on the same points, only 3 points behind Newcastle, and they didn't finish. Oh well, it is what it is. But more importantly, how many of those players stuck around? So let's have a quick look at the transfer history for this season. So, also they'd already brought a load in, but I need to check the date. Oh, hang on, there we go. So the most recent ones, looks like there were quite a few loans that went out. But in January, DCL went to Spurs and Ben Godfrey went to Burnley. All right, okay. So that was Everton's little transfer. Again, first season is usually on these simulations, not that many transfer goings on until the following season. That's when usually the movement starts happening. I also forgot to say that this will be a 6-season simulation, not a 5, because of that only 2 promotion spots instead of 3. I thought I'd keep it fair and at least give Everton a chance to see if they can get all the way back to the top as well. But to do that, now I've got to do it for 6 seasons instead of 5. I think it's only fair at the end of the day. Chelsea, their overall balance has been wiped out, but yet somehow they've been given a transfer budget of 88 million going into Sky Bet League 2. Something very, very dodgy going on there. Yeah, I don't quite get that. But let's have a look at the transfers anyway. God, they spent a lot of money. They really did. But again, let's have a look at the movers and shakers. A lot of loans. But then Malang Sarr and Thiago Silva left, actually, in the July. I'm quite surprised at that. But then Conor Gallagher left on loan. Chalobah went to Spurs, just shopping for the London boys. And Jimmy J. Morgan. Okay, fair enough. Let's have a quick look at Newcastle to see who... 35 million. There's no way that would happen. But obviously, I know the game can't take everything into account. I don't think that would happen. Their balance overall, their transfer budget is awful. So... it's good for this league, but their overall balance, I don't see how that even equates, to be honest. But hey-ho. And again, let's have a look at it. So again, a lot of loans going out and no major movements from Newcastle, so they didn't sell anybody. Not at this point anyway. So there we have it. Newcastle, Chelsea both come up. Everton have to stick in the Vanarama National League for another season. How is that going to affect them? Let's go and have a look at the Premier League, see who won that. City, Liverpool, Arsenal, United. How did the other boys get on? So Ipswich got relegated, unsurprising. Leicester just about survived. And Southampton, they must have won a cup. Can't be the FA Cup, surely? Oh yeah, they did. They beat oh dear me. Newcastle got all the way to the FA Cup final from the relegation, from the Vanarama National League, and got beat by one of their replacements in the FA Cup final. I couldn't have written that better myself, to be fair. Okay, so that's the Premier League. What about the Championship? Hang on. Let me just sort this out. Or was it Sky? Right, okay, let's have a look at the stages. The league table. Leeds, Norwich and Hull have all come up. Portsmouth, who went up as one of the teams, they've been relegated. Oxford were another team who I put in. They've been relegated as well. And Derby were the only ones, surprisingly, to survive. Okay. Sky Bet League. Let's click on that. Let's have a look at the stages again. League table. But hey, Lincoln got promoted. How did the rest of the guys get on? So all the promoted teams, which I believe was Wrexham, Mansfield and Stockport, they all survived. Okay, fair enough. Well, okay, so that's that part done. I'm going to simulate another 2 years into the future to see what sort of repercussions happen further down the line. I'm presuming it's going to be back-to-back promotions again, but hey, you never know what's going to happen. I'll see you in a couple of seconds. So, right, here we go. We are into another 2 years into the future, so 31st of May 2026. Let's go and have a look at, because Everton were the first one to miss out on that promotion, so let's see where they are at the moment. Second in Sky Bet League 2. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's automatic promotion form, which is good. And they've gone up with Wrexham, actually lower on points than Wrexham. Okay. Which means, obviously, they've done back-to-back promotions again now, which isn't too bad. But financial-wise, oh, they are the ones that are suffering the most. They're in the red. Transfer budget is low. Let's have a look at their transfer history. So we went back. That's the first season. So let's go to the second. Okay, so they'd lost it. Wow, they had to sell Jared Brentwaite for that. That's a stinger. Considering he's been talked about a move in real life for around about 60 million. That's a stinger and a half. Mason Holgate went to Newcastle. Huh? Okay. But they did spend a little bit of money and brought... How on earth does a club like Everton, sitting at this point in the season, still in the Vanarama National League, or maybe have just got... No, they're still in the Vanarama National League at this point, bring in Datro Fofana from Chelsea? How's he not gone to a European move? I do not know. And then, okay, so another 29 million. So who else? Mopé's gone, Pickford has gone, Garner, Beto, Dobbin are all left. And again, not much being spent. Quite a few loan deals here and there, so it's not surprising they're struggling. But if we're going to have a look at, say, Newcastle first, and second in Sky Bet League 1, I'm presuming behind Chelsea. So again, back-to-back promotions for both clubs. Which isn't too bad. What? And this is where it comes into it. 170 million overall balance. It wasn't anywhere near that. And then 160. They've been having cash injections like you wouldn't believe. They've been getting bailouts by their owners. Which, okay, as owners you are supposed to do. But I'm pretty certain... Well, yeah, how are they meeting FA? I don't get this at all. It is ridiculous. Okay, right. Let's go back a couple of seasons. So, they did have to spend or sell. They sold 71, but spent 72. Dear me. So, who has gone? Who are the biggest ones to leave? Bruno Guimaraes, Yankuba Minter, who again has just moved to Brighton in real life. Actually, a fairly decent player on here. Fabian Schär, Dan Burn, Trippier, Target, and a load of other youngsters, etc., and ones on free transfers. And another 32 million lost on that. Did they sign Badiashile? They did for... See, this is what I'm talking about, the dodgy goings on. You've got the dodgy goings on between Newcastle and Chelsea, literally in-game. Buying players of Chelsea to give them a little bit of money. It's not right. Let's go and have a look at Chelsea as well. That is ridiculous. Oh, at least they're not getting massive cash injections. Still got a £47 million transfer budget going into the Championship. That's madness. 42 million sold, all in all, and then 107 million sold on this point here. Santos, Chilwell, Gallagher, Badiashile, Martin, Arita Balaga, and a load of other youngsters sold there, and another 59 million on this one. Caicedo went for 20. Oh my word. Talk about making a loss on your investment. Wow. 29.5 million. Nicholas Jackson, 22. Going up to 30. Sanchez. Oh dear. That's pretty bad. But by their expectations, I suppose, they would be expecting just back-to-back promotions, and that's what they've done. Everton are hot on their heels. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zip along another 3 seasons to the end of this simulation, and we're going to see what's actually happening. See if anybody did actually miss out. I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Okay, so here we are. We're on 31st of May 2029, so that's another 3 seasons into the future and the end of this simulation, and we are going... What the... Sorry, I just noticed something here. Vigo... Is that League 1 or League 2? Second. Oh, right, okay, sorry, I thought they just won the La Liga there. Okay, so Everton, they were the ones that were furthest behind. Let's have a look. Oh. Oh dear. Wage budget slashed. Still in the red. Transfer budget is low. And they're stuck in the Championship. Which, to be fair, I am not entirely surprised at. And they missed out on the playoffs, by the looks of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they missed out on the playoffs this season. Ooh, that's not good for them. Are they going to stay in Championship mediocrity for a while? Well, going by... Jeez. So, we went to here on the last one. So, we'll have a look in. So, they've let a few players go, but who didn't bring that many in. Again, a lot of loans. Then the season after, obviously, they invested a little bit of money to bring a few players in. Lati Lath from Ugo Chukwu from Chelsea again. Dennis from... Okay, Nicholas Romero from Arsenal. They did sell a few more players. Joe Rodon was there. Amadou Onana finally left. He's gone to Wolves. Okay. And then their final amount, they invested 45 million and they didn't make it out. That's a big amount of money to invest and they didn't make it out. Especially when they only sold one player, their Portuguese goalkeeper, João Virginia, for 10 million. And I don't even think that he played that. Oh, he did. Played a bit. But, okay. Well, Everton are in the crap. Chelsea, on the other hand, how are they doing? Third in the Premier League. Third. Okay. Not bad. They qualify for the Champions League. That is not bad at all. Fair play. But I'm willing to bet, because Newcastle are there as well, and they've qualified. How? Oh, what's happened here? Right. Sorry, I'm just going to check this out. Have a look at past winners, maybe? No. How have they got so many? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 qualified. Unless one of them won a European trophy. One of them's got to have won the Europa League. Newcastle must have won the Europa League. I'll have a look at that in a second. Okay, so we have a look at Chelsea. Balance has got better, I think, to say the least. Transfer-wise, okay, so we left it there. There was a few more movers and shakers, but they spent 123 million on Braganca, Dovbek, Pabega, and Luke Chambers from Liverpool. They paid 27 million for him. Okay, but they did make 113. So who else? Lavia left. Oof, at a loss again. Sterling left. Broja left. Okay. And then we move on there. They spent another 90 million, bringing Lunin, Rodriguez, Guzman, and Pavlovic in, but only selling 19.5 million. Ugo Chukwu, Slonina, I think that's how you say it, and Datro Fofana been sold. And the final one, another 88 million pound investment. The vast majority of that on Nicholas Seevold. Bradley Barkler, and they're only making 14.5 million, so they still haven't really learned anything. Did they win any other trophies? Let's have a look. So Prem, third place 2029. Yeah, okay, that's fine. No Europa League there, so they didn't win it. Obviously, they finished it. Oh, they did win an FA Cup in 2027 and runner-up in 2025. Okay. Fair play. That's not bad. And they were actually runner-up in the Championship when they came up as well. Nothing in the Carabao Cup. So all in all, they've not done too bad, and it's only taken them 5 seasons to get back into the Champions League football, which is pretty decent, actually. Newcastle, on the other hand, look like they've been struggling a little bit. Runner-up in the FA Cup in 2024. Yep, which we knew about because they got beat by Southampton. They won the Sky Bet Championship. They won the Europa League in 2029. Okay. Fair play. That's not too bad. financially wise, ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. 232 in the balance, 217 in the transfer budget. Let's go and have a look and see what they've been spending. So we are back to here. 27.5 there, which ain't too bad. They brought in the likes of Alexander Nubel, Reece Nelson, Klenkamp. Nobody other really of note. No transfers out really. But they sold 65 million there. So Jolinton and Igor both left. Jamal Lewis is gone. But they... What? 230... This would have been their first season back in the Premier League. And they spent 235 million. Kilshoy, Moreira, Adam Wharton, Junior Krupi, Prince Anning, Andreas Skov Olsen. I mean, there's a lot of players there that regular FM players will recognise and go, okay, that's a lot of money being spent. And they spent another 70 million on top of that, bringing in Lucas Perry, Noah Okafor, Amir Richardson. And not really making an awful lot of money back either. Okay, well, there you have it. So not only in the previous video, which again I shall remind you, the link is down below, and the link for the video is at the end of this video as well. Man City back in the Premier League after 5 years. Back in the Premier League for Chelsea and Newcastle after 5 years as well, and Everton are going to be the ones that are going to struggle. They're going to have one of the biggest stadiums in the Championship but not be able to fill it or use it in the Premier League. Which is kind of how I had it in my mind. That's how it's going to work. If it actually happens in real life, probably not. Everything hinges on that Man City case. But if you did find this one interesting, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And join me for the next video, whenever that is going to come out. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you later. Ta-ra.